Hello everyone, welcome to SJ's Garden. In this video, we are going to replant Phalaenopsis orchids. Most of us get orchids from friends as gifts, and as the maintenance is not same as all other plants, we just ignore or we fear to maintain them, just leave them at the corner of the living room or somewhere and let it dry and then throw them away. I did once, and this time I wanted to replant it and see it blooming again. So I went to Home Depot and found a couple of different mixes for orchids. One is orchid moss and the other is mix with similar to wood chips. But as the current plant is living on the moss, I was more comfortable of buying moss than the chips. So there are instructions on the packet how to use it and replant it. So we need to soak the moss in water until all the moss is hydrated well. So I kept some of the moss in the tray and soaking it in water now. So there is no hard time, the fixed time for this. You need to see whether the moss is completely soaked or not. So for me it took 15 to 20 minutes to fully soak. While it is soaking in the water, I have to take out the plant to see how it was doing. It was not in a bad shape because I see the roots are good, and I see new growth on the stems also. Usually if stems are old and they don't have any new growth, we have to cut them during the replanting, but it has new growth, and I believe the birds and flowers are going to grow there. So as you see here, this is a small plastic bag kind of pot, and the roots are in green color. Very few roots are rotten, as you see here, and these roots are totally covered by moss. All we need to do is we have to carefully take out all the moss surrounded with the roots. It took me some time to take out the moss, clean the roots and everything, and this is how the plant roots were after cleaning up. I have found very few rotten roots and removed them already. So I would like to trim very long roots before I replant. I'm going to do it in a minute. We don't want to use a very huge container, because if you use a large pot, then the plant will concentrate on growing the root and it will produce very few flowers. So it's not a good idea. I think the one I'm using is also little bigger, but I wanted to give it a try because I don't have a pot between the current one and the white pot I am going to use. So I'm now trimming the roots little bit. I got this plant in September first week. That time it was fully bloomed and very beautiful. Now I see the new growth. Probably in 2-3 months, if I maintain it well, it is going to bloom. And once it finish all the blooming, I will cut the stem and see allow the plant to grow new stem. And as I see the new growth, as I told you, I'm not trimming the stem this time. So we need to tie the roots with moss again, how it was before we take out from the old pot. I try to do it because I cut some of the roots and I washed the roots. Those became just little soft and I cannot really make the shape, so I try to bind them with the moss and trying to put in the pot. I'm using the same iron pole for the support and filling the pot with moss again. The roots doesn't want to be in the water so much, and they just wanted to have the dry moss or dry wood chips around it, so we don't want to water them so frequently. So as the moss is fully hydrated this time, I probably wait a month or so to water it next time. So I half fill the pot with moss. And that's it. I actually remove the moss at the top of the plant because I just don't want to get the roots rot. So I'm going to observe these for a couple of weeks, how the plant is doing, and take necessary steps to not let the plant die. So now we are going to use a beautiful pot rail for this one. And my living room actually has a good sunlight and it is warm all the time, so I'm going to leave it in the living room and observe it for a few days. That's it, friends. It's not hard to replant orchids. Do the same if you have any plant left in your house. Don't just let it die. Thank you for watching.